Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and for those of you that are just joining me, welcome. I'm Jay Vanessa, and here we do and talk planty things. So if that interests you, go ahead and subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss out when I post new videos. I have lots to share with you as today's garden topic is houseplant room tour. But first, I wanted to officially introduce you guys to the kitties. Come here. This is Perry and Mason. Oh wait, this is Mason and Perry. Brother and sister, we call them the twins. Littermates is the common term that they use. They are 5 months old and we got them when they were just 10 weeks. And I had forgotten how playful and curious kittens can be. So unfortunately, these kitties are actually not allowed in this room, just for now at least, because they seem to get into a lot of the plants, especially this guy. All right, now to the good stuff. But first, not too long ago, I posted on my IG stories a small video clip of my green space, as I like to call it, and asked you guys if you would like a room tour. And I got a lot of yeses, and well, here we are. This is gonna be a two-part series as there's just lots to go over, and I didn't want this video to be super long, so I thought I would break it up. This is my craft room / green space, which holds over 100 plants last time I counted. This room is usually always a work in progress because every time I come home with a new plant, I have to find a place for it in the limited space that I have. So there's usually always a shifting of plants around the room as I try to make space, also known as #PlantMomProblems. Also, if you have any questions about anything you see around the room, comment down below and I'll be happy to reply. I guess what I'll do is I'll start from one corner of the room and work my way around. So here we go. This is my massive lemon lime Maranta, also known as a prayer plant. I picked this one up at Walmart for $13.99. I believe it was in an 8-inch hanging basket. Now it's in this 14-inch pot and it's just so large. I love it. It's even flowering. This variety I find to be so low maintenance, and I'm noticing that it doesn't require a tremendous amount of humidity like some other Marantas. I just mist it occasionally and water it once every 7 to 10 days. Next is an Episcia Cupreata, more commonly known as the flame violet. It's becoming one of my favorite species of plants to own as there's so many different varieties and the foliage is just stunning. This one right here is an Episcia Checkerboard, and I would have to say it's probably one of my favorites. The olive green color with hints of pink blushing is just so beautiful. What I'm also learning about these plants is that some of them are pretty easy to propagate, which I have a couple going, which you guys will see later on. These plants are actually pretty easy to care for in my opinion. My #1 recommendation is to not let the soil dry out completely in between waterings. This is my variegated lipstick plant. And here is a Maranta silver band. I've had this one for much longer than my lemon lime. I purchased it in a pretty sad state. I've tried various things to get it to grow, like it's not hating the space that it's in, but I haven't quite found the perfect combination for it just yet. This is a newer location for it, so I'm just gonna see how it does here. Scindapsus Silvery Ann. Right above it is my neon pothos. And on this wall, I have been propagating some ZZ cuttings that I got from my mom. The glass vases that they are in, I got from Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below. I love styling with plants and love how modern of a look this has, but as much as I really enjoy the style of it, I will be potting them up in soil soon as they have been water propagating for way too long. So stay tuned for that video. Alocasia Morocco. What I've noticed with alocasias is that they are quite prone to spider mites. So some of her leaves aren't looking so pretty. However, her pink stems are still gorgeous. One of my whale fin Sansevierias. Next is my white bird of paradise, which is growing quite nicely under my Aspect Grow Light from Soltech Solutions. I did an unboxing video, so check that out in the link above if you guys missed it. This one is my super long Scindapsus Pictus. It is so low maintenance and easy growing and easy to propagate. It checks off all the boxes that you would want an ideal houseplant to be. I'm going to have to trim it back eventually, but for now it's living its best life. Along this wall is my wall unit, which holds various arts and craft thingies. A good friend of mine on IG told me that my craft room is getting in the way of my plant room, and I'm sure he's watching right now, and you are totally right. This is such a large piece of real estate where I could put more plants if there was room. Next is a blue torch cactus. I don't really care for it in this spot, but for now it's here. A Sansevieria Ferwood, and next to it I believe is a Rhipsalis Baccifera, also known as the mistletoe cactus. When I purchased it, it was only labeled as a Rhipsalis, so if you think it could be a different kind, please let me know in the comments. Next is this Cissus Discolor, also called Rex Begonia vine. It is an excellent climber, as you can see. It's really making itself at home. I didn't realize how fast this thing would grow. I thought I had a little bit more time growing it in the spot that it's in, but I think I have to find a different solution for it soon. Episcia Cupreata Blue Nile. I eventually want to have this plant in a hanging pot. A Syngonium, also known as an arrowhead plant. I think it might be a Syngonium Bright Allusion. I love the pink veining on this one. Now onto my plant shelfie, which was all DIY. If you missed that video, here's a link. Ripple Peperomia. My variegated string of hearts that I purchased online. It arrived in the mail in a very sad looking state. I already lost a couple strands and I'm trying to rehab it, so I hope it bounces back. Xerographica Tollandsia, Philodendron Silver Stripe, Peperomia obtusifolia Lime, Mammerillia Haniana, also known as Old Lady Cactus, Manjula Pothos. Some of you may have already seen this plant on my IG. It's my string of hearts. I got it back in the end of September, so it's been a little over 2 months and the growth on these plants is quite fast. It's grown over 2.5 feet since I got it. Marble Pothos, Peperomia Quadrangularis, Philodendron scandens, or more commonly called heart leaf philodendron, Peperomia rubia cascade, and on the top shelf is Sansevieria cylindrica, a fiddle-leaf fig tree, and another snake plant. This variety is called Sansevieria Bangle Sensation. It's a little beat up because I used to have it outdoors, and during a cold snap last year, the plant experienced some plant damage. However, I think it's liking its new spot indoors and it's making a nice comeback. Now moving on to the table, here is a Calathea Rosa Picta Peacock, Episcia Emerald Velvet, Episcia Pink Acashew. This plant should definitely turn you on to this plant species for sure. This is a Scindapsus Pictus exotica, and just like the Scindapsus Pictus variety, which is also right here, this one too is what you'd hope every houseplant should be. This Scindapsus is really happy in the spot it's in, which is in a northwest facing window. This plant too, I'm eventually going to have to trim back, but for now, it too is living its best life. It actually would be 2 feet longer in length, but the Roomba Alfred ate it. Here is another Scindapsus. This one is called Scindapsus trubii. It's a much slower growing variety if you compare it to the other ones. Here is one of my favorite peperomias, Peperomia Quadrangularis. It's also in bloom. This is one of the largest leaf type peperomias I have in my collection. Another Pothos variety. And behind it is a variegated Peperomia watermelon. I can't seem to get the right amount of care for this plant. I've tried a combination of things, but it's not quite working. Another air plant. Some new Thanksgiving cactuses that I have yet to pot up. And here I have a propagation station, all DIY, with various plants in them. And last but not least, a plant here on my table is a Monstera spa Peru. Well guys, there you have it for part 1 of my houseplant room tour. Be sure to stay tuned for next week for part 2. So don't forget to hit the notification bell. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions about anything you saw in my room tour or just want to plant chat, you can leave a comment in the space below. I hope you guys enjoyed a glimpse into my green space. You guys can also follow me on all my social medias, including Facebook and Instagram. All of the information and links are in the description box below. When I am not shooting videos, I am posting pictures, as there is always something new growing. And as always, thanks again for watching and see you next week. Bye! Stay tuned!